For 2021, the Arizona Progress Meter ranked Arizona 50th across the nation in teacher pay. So that is very telling of where we stand when it comes to budget adequacy. In Arizona, we have a lot of policy that promotes school choice, but with school choice comes a need for more resources to sustain a variety of options and all of those operational costs. And so our budget needs to catch up with that. The Department of Education is addressing the issue of teacher pay and teacher recruitment and retention through a variety of ways. This is a #1 priority for Superintendent Hoffman and many of the staff that work at the department. We have created a educator recruitment and retention team at the department that is examining a lot of the root causes and issues around that. We are intending to continue to try and elevate the teaching profession. There are actually a lot of teachers that are professionals that have their certifications with the department, but they're not teaching in classrooms. So I think looking at ways to get those certified teachers back into the classrooms. With COVID, we know that our teachers have faced so much in terms of having to manage sort of having to do online school and hybrid options in person, as well as their own children's education, which has been very taxing. So we want to ensure we're providing social emotional supports to teachers as well. We have during COVID, provided sort of on-demand online training courses to support teachers in having to navigate all those different modalities of instruction. And then we're continuing to look at options for how do we promote and recruit teachers in some of our remote areas as well, and to ensure that we are looking at issues of teacher diversity too, so that our teachers are reflective of the students they serve. The $3.88 billion is from the American Rescue Plan, as well as the 2 prior recovery packages. The recovery package that was passed in May of 2020, and then another one that was passed in December of 2020. With Proposition 208, if it stays in place, my understanding is that the higher tax rate applies to income earned in 2021. So that therefore the funds won't really start rolling until spring of 2022. From our understanding is revenue could potentially begin coming in now if folks in those upper brackets are setting aside the tax portion and then submitting it throughout the year. But the assumption is that it will come with the following tax year. Some of that is dependent on sort of actions by the Department of Revenue. The best way for Arizonans to communicate their concerns about budget to the governor is to utilize typical advocacy platforms, social media, other types of things that advocates do to communicate their concerns. I would say that legislators and the governor and other public officials really do care what constituents say and what stakeholders say. So I think it's important for folks, especially those who are involved with our schools, the school administrators, for example, to be at the legislature and meeting with the governor too when they have the opportunity to share their concerns from the community. I would also say leaning on the U.S. Congressional delegation as well to let them know what's happening in Arizona, particularly with the use of federal dollars and concerns about how those dollars may be being spent by state officials.